Well, hey, this is Rob Bean of the Triple Threat, and I am back in Colorado, and I've got a little bit of a surprise announcement. So, we're still working out all the details, but if we look around this boat, and hopefully I won't fall down as I'm crawling out here, you're going to notice that this is a different boat than we had in San Francisco. This is actually called a Tremolino T-Gull, and it is a 23-foot trimaran, and it's actually the boat that I was hoping to find when I was looking for the Tramp. So this is actually what we're going to be taking to Race to Alaska, all the way to Ketchikan. It's a bit of a long story as to what happened, and I will go into it probably in another video. Just suffice it to say that the Oztag Tramp served us well in the time that I had it, from September to last weekend, or last week I should say, on Tuesday. And I still technically have it, just not here. It's in California, and it's broken. It's pretty severely broken. So anyway, more on that later. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Tremolino before I take it out for its maiden voyage. So as I mentioned, it's 23 feet long, so it's a little bit longer than our Tramp. It has a forward cockpit there and an aft cockpit, and these are actually really nice. I'll show those in just a sec. But that's going to be really nice. It's also a center cockpit, which should keep us a little more steady. We won't feel so nauseous maybe. And then it's got trampolines and all the things you've come to expect on a really nice trimaran. I'd say the other main thing as it relates to the boat that is important is the shape of these hulls. These, I can't remember the name of the shape that the guy named it. But anyway, these are wave piercing. So as opposed to coming up on a wave and coming up and over the top and lifting the front of the boat really high and then dropping down, this actually just goes pretty much straight through the waves. There's another guy that I've been talking to who, Ted Schmidt, who was in the Washington 360. He is actually on Team Calorically Dense, I believe, for Race to Alaska this year. He actually used a Tremolino on Washington 360, and he reported that like the first big waves he hit, he was bracing for a huge amount of bucking up and all sorts of stuff, and instead he cut right through the wave and got soaked. So we're looking forward to that. Let's actually climb aboard here, and actually why I'm doing that. So this rig here is a Hobie 18, I believe it's the RS race model of the mast, and so it's 27 some feet tall, and it's fully battened, so we can get a really nice good shape, sail shape out of it. And then I have a full-size jib on this. I don't think we're going to worry about using our screecher, but we may set up a spinnaker off this thing, but we'll just see. Right now we are just back to basics, since we have about 6 weeks to get ready for Race to Alaska, and that is going to be what we do. So I'm going to hop back aboard here. Lose my sandal. All right. So, coming into the cockpit, we can kind of see how it's set up. Again, this is the right below me is the entrance to the front cockpit, and then the rear cockpit's back there. We've got really, really nice, big, almost like church pew seats in here, and these are pretty cool. Got a nice, big, spacious cockpit area. There is a little water in the boat right now because I washed it out with pressure washer and I haven't had a chance to clean it out. So this is the front cockpit. As you can see, we've got some lights, and then there's tracks that are in here too. So there's a lot of storage below, and then we can either use the hammock beds that came with the boat, but I'm planning on putting in a fixed flat surface for the beds. in the front of the boat, and then we'll have a big area to put in all of our electronics over here. And then I'm planning on building like a fold-down shelving unit so I can sit and do video editing while we're in the boat. So that's the forward cockpit. Let's take a look at the rear cockpit. So this is the rear cockpit, and just drop this down in here. You can kind of see around in there. Certainly a place to put some shelving, and again, it's really for just sleeping and storing gear. And then there's a tremendous space actually up under the cockpit that we can use for additional storage if we need it. So that'll be food and water and such. There's kind of some neat features. So right here is the dagger board, and there's actually crush plates that go along with this dagger board, and you can see those here. I've shoved them down in, and then I'll drop the dagger board in when I get into some deeper water. But what the crush plates allow us to do is if we hit something, and as opposed to breaking the dagger board like I did in the 360, the dagger board actually tips backwards and comes out of the bottom of the boat. And so we've got a little dog leash collar or a dog leash that's used to put on top of the dagger board. So that's kind of cool. Other than that, I am going to finish getting set up and do some sailing. All right, well, I have opted to drag the boat up and out of this channel before I go, because there is very shallow water here currently, and the wind is not coming from a very favorable direction, so currently just sort of walking the boat. Hopefully we'll be able to get a little bit further around and I can just hop on, which I will try to capture. I'm sure that'll be humorous. We are sailing a little bit right now because that sail is up. But yeah, we're just gonna hope for the best and go from there. You know, actually the water temperature is actually pretty darn nice. I think it's been warm. I've been gone about a week. I was in California training from Monday through Friday, and then I flew to Syracuse. I flew to Baltimore overnight Friday night, and then got another flight to Albany, and then rented a U-Haul in Albany and drove to Schenectady, which is only like 15 miles. Talked to the owner about the boat, picked it up, got everything managed, and started heading west. So I went back to Colorado by way of Dayton, Ohio, and I stopped in to see my old buddy in crime, Michael Makowski, who's now a reverend of a Methodist church there. So I went to church Sunday morning with him and his family, and then got on the road later in the day. So 3 days after I left Schenectady, I was back in Fort Collins and unloading some of my gear. Most of it's still in the car. And then today, or yesterday, I got the boat registered, and then I got the trailer temporary registration this morning. So I think we're about ready to give this a shot. I think my goal is to sail across the channel here and then head downwind. I'll work my way back up before I figure out what to do next. So, all right, so let's see if we can capture what is bound to be hopefully a not too exciting launch. Let's get to the outside. There's your boat. So the boat currently is wanting to turn into the wind, which is what boats do. Oh, the geese are not very happy with me. That's all right, they can be upset. All right, set that there for a minute. And pull my front sail out. So this is all set on a furling mechanism up front. So very similar to what I had in my other boat. Just maybe a little bit nicer equipment overall. Let's see if we can get moving here. That would be a boat trying to leave without me. That's rude. All right. Well, there you go. Not very much wind at all, and we're cruising along. So, get my GPS out, wherever it is. Looks like I need to fix the downhaul, or not the downhaul, I need to fix the topping lift. It looks like it's interrupting the sail at the moment. Oh, look at that. Almost no wind, and we're going 6.1 miles per hour. So I'd say that's pretty good. So the next thing project-wise I've got to do is, I mean, there's so many projects I have to do. I literally have to outfit this boat start to finish. What took me about 4 months in the fall is going to have to get done in about 6 weeks time or less. And I don't think it's going to take too terribly long, but because so much of it we just pulled right out of the other boat and we're just going to reinstall here. But I do need an auto tiller on here, so I need to figure out where I could build a bracket to make that work, and so forth. Then there's a lot of lighting to put in. We've got 2 batteries aboard, one for lights and other things, and then one for my CPAP, and that's important. And then I'm going to do a little bit of painting inside just to make it look a little more presentable. But aside from that, I'm really hoping there's not too many things we need to do with this boat. Pretty nifty. So I just put the dagger board in, and it's got this little chain that holds it. Now I didn't put the front, there's a front crush plate. I'm gonna figure that out later. I just wanted to get it in place for now. And so the other thing that's really not 100% worked out right now is that this little motor, starts, but it doesn't like to stay started. So I need to figure a little maintenance on that. So I'm not going to get too far from the marina today, in case I don't think the wind's going to quit. It's supposed to be up pretty strong this afternoon, so that'll be good. So, all right. Well, I would say that is my quick first tour of the Tremolino. All right, well, that's me for the day. I'm going to call this a successful first sail. It is not over, but you know, we're going to put it in the books as a check mark anyways. So stay tuned for more information about our revised campaign, what this new boat means for our team, and if we've got any other changes coming just due to swapping our boat out at the last minute. But thanks to Jesse and Verity and the entire team at Northwest Maritime for letting us switch boats at such a late date and let us keep our mission to get to Ketchikan alive. So thanks again. Take it easy.